Map number 4 of this best of 5. Our Zerg player beginning his comeback, and things are looking very, very good. Spawning in the top right hand position as the blue Zerg player. Losing the first 2 games. Perhaps, maybe, he can get another 2 wins and take the series, making a beautiful comeback that will be so incredible. Poems will be written about it for all eternity. It's Lambo. And his opponent down in the lower left. The green Protoss. Winning game number 1 and 2. Looking like he could do no wrong. Things pretty perfect for him. Until game 3 where he came up against the terrible Corruptors. Which just destroyed all of his Colossi. And there was nothing he could do. He needs to win just 1 more game to take the series. It's GunGFuBanDa. Anyway. We're on Overgrowth. A big map which looks at a glance to have a ridiculously wide natural. But it doesn't because of these little pipes. Which means that it's actually easy to wall off if you should want. And GunGFu does want. As he throws down that Nexus first. Meanwhile, Lambo, he opted for pool into hatch, playing it safe. Knows it's a 2 spawn position map and doesn't want to do anything crazy. Doesn't want to risk another of those cannon rushes. Gateway coming down off the back of this, so it's not going to be a Forge expand, it's going to be a Nexus first into a Gateway. And that's because of what GunGFu's seen so far. Overlord coming through though, going to get the scout on this, knows from the timing of that Gateway that it will have been a Nexus first, so has all of the information available to him, which is good. And well, we now get that little lull before the storm. GunGFu switched things up last game in how he opened. He went for that early Stargate in order to go for Phoenix harassment, which actually worked really damn well. But he lost the game. So are we going to see GunGFu instead go back to that Immortal Sentry play that he's had success with in the first 2 games? Maybe. Are we going to see him go out for a new and exciting type of build? Perhaps. Waiting to see exactly what Lambo does. Taking that 3rd base. Being greedy. Which is the right thing to do because his opponent was very greedy with that Nexus first. Around now come a couple of these Lings. Just scouting. Giving the Zealots some exercise. Because Zealots need exercise. Look at how slow they run. Like, they just seem a bit lazy to me. Especially when they just get charged, they suddenly start running faster. It's like they're just not putting the effort in now. Come on, Zealots. Anyway, Lambo, he's looking good. Droning, 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 droning. Which is all the Zerg players really want to do early game. It's just drone. It's such a nice thing to do. I actually get, if I play Zerg, I sometimes get a bit carried away with my droning and I think I'm safe. And then before I know it, I'm at like 100 drones. I'm just like, oh, well this escalated quickly. And then it's all bad, and then I die. And then I feel a bit ashamed of myself, and I go and eat some ice cream. But that's beside the point. Anyway. 1 probe here, a couple of Zealots moving across. Note there are 2 gases and only 1 gate. So this is not some kind of massive, aggressive play. It's just a little bit of aggression. Forces a couple of Lings out though. The Queen is going to have to dance around her hatchery. But all in all, the Zealots, upon identifying that there's a good number of Zerglings there, decide this is a dangerous move and they come back to the safety of the Mothership Core. Behind this, Robotics Facility coming down. Could be the Immortal Sentry play making another showing. Because this is exactly how Game 1 opened for GunGFu. With these 2 Zealots, the Stalker, and the Mothership Core coming through. Meanwhile, Lambo is just droning really heavily. Trying to maximize how many workers he can get out while minimizing what he needs to defend with. And he's got to be careful because with the Time Warp, Queens will die. 1 already fallen. That's going to start her fucking creep spread. Zealots microing back against these Lings well, preventing the surround. Takes them all out. The Queen's moving into that time warp again. But with the Zealots both on critical amounts of health, not risking trying to go any further forward. Stalker can start chipping away, getting a bit of damage down. But for the most part, Lambo happy to get his Roach Warren out, feeling that he's defended this adequately. GunGFu adding in those Immortals. Probably going to start adding in Sentries shortly. Got a Forge on its way too, so it's going to start +1 attack. But over with his aggressive units, they're not looking so happy. The Zealots get taken down. The Zerglings looking to try and get this round on the Stalker, but good micro keeps it safe. Zergling speed a long way off, only just been started. However, the lair is on its way through. This probe's still patiently waiting, and a good question that I don't know because it's one of the new maps is whether or not a pylon can fit in here. I assume it can. I assume that it can fit in there. It probably can't go there. Yeah, it can. I don't think a pylon can go there though. I don't think that ground is actually flat. So I don't believe it would allow it to go there, but I don't know. You can't build on ramps. I don't know whether that's technically 2 ramps meeting or if there's a gap in the middle. Overlord gets taken down though. That's good times. 1 Immortal now down. Actually, no, 2nd Immortal. This is a much earlier push than previously. Before, GunGFu has waited to get the 3 Immortals out, as opposed to moving out with just 2. Can see a little hint that there's some Sentries and an Immortal, so now knows what is coming. Starts a Spine Crawler immediately. 13 more Roaches coming through. But what Lambo does not have is a Hydra Den. There will not be Hydralisks to help defend this push. Interesting use of a cannon here, just to guard this proxy pylon to allow the next wave of warpins to come through. Force fields being used already. There's no Zealots here at the moment, and that means that this army is very vulnerable. Lambo gets a nice surround, picks off a couple of the sentries, and with Roaches from behind is going to be able to pick off everything here. Beautiful defense by Lambo with these additional Roaches, snipes them all down, and this push has been destroyed. This push just doesn't exist anymore. Everything died. No survivors, no one to tell the story, no one to warn the follow-up push. Lambo, ruthless in his defense of that. And good times. Lambo looking solid now this game. He adds in his Hydrogen, adds in road speed and burrow, and goes on the offensive. This 3rd base is a ballsy move that isn't going to work if Lambo decides to attack, because there's just nothing to defend it. Lambo could even just go straight for the kill. He's moving in now. The Zerglings able to get a lot of early damage. The Immortal dies. The Roaches, sizable in number, pick off the remaining units. And there's just a cannon and a Stalker standing between Lambo and victory at the moment. The Warpins coming through quickly. The Wall-Off helping to slow this push. But is it going to be able to stop it? Another Immortal frantically getting chrono boosted. Probes being slaughtered. And still, Lambo persists. More units rallied across the map. The Immortal pops out, tries to get a couple of shots through, but there's just so many Roaches. The shields on that Immortal nearly dead, but that force field could be the saving grace, zoning out a lot of the Roaches. The Immortal able to take out the few inside in bite-sized chunks. Lambo thwarted for the moment, but he draws his attention towards the 3rd, which instantly gets cancelled. Lambo continuing on the pressure. If this Cybercore goes down, no more sentries, no more stalkers, and down it goes. That is a big loss. Zealots and Immortals are all that can defend now. No force fields. There's 2 Immortals out, a 3rd one on the way. GunGFu doing his utmost to try and hold now, but Lambo up by nearly 90 army supply. He's triple his opponent's overall supply now. Things looking very good for the Zerg player to level out this series, but Lambo stays in the game. He keeps fighting. Where there's an Immortal, there's a way. But Lambo seems to be denying GunGFu from finding it. GG is called, and Lambo has gained momentum. Levels out the series 2-2, and we go to the ace game.